Alright, today we're going to be replacing the outer tie rod on this 2010 Mercury Milan Premier, which is the same as a 2010 Ford Fusion. And most cars in the Ford lineup, tie rods are basically the same as far as getting off and replacing. Cowboys go Cowboy Nation. Okay, so the part that we're using is a Duralast part. Gonna be part number ES4294. ES4294. This is a outer tie rod, and what we're gonna be doing is replacing it. They're fairly easy to replace. You just have to get the tire off. 18 millimeter. This bolt here is a 17 millimeter, and that is a 24 millimeter. Now, before you get started, I do recommend that you get you a tape measure. You hold it, bro, real quick. Get a tape measure and measure from the inside of the inner tie rod to the center of the outer tie rod. And what that's going to do is give you the measurement on your toe. So whenever you get an alignment on a car, they set your toe, your caster, and your camber. This is your toe. Your toe measures the distance from the inner to the outer tie rod, basically telling your tire to make sure that it's standing straight up and not slanted to the left or the right, which is different from the caster and the camber, which I'll tell you about in a later video. So on this particular one, our toe needs to be set at 7 1/4. So we're going to remember that. It's best to write it down so you don't forget it. This is our new part. Once you take this bolt off, sometimes it can be hard to get off, but like I said, it's a 17 millimeter. I've already broken it, as you can see, so all I got to do is do that. Now, these can be hard to get off. I don't know how hard this one's going to be. I feel like it might be a little hard, so the best way to do that is to thread that back on a little bit and get you some folk use a hammer. I don't recommend a hammer because you don't want to damage your thread. So I recommend using a mallet instead. What you do with this mallet is you just go here and just tap it. And it should come right out really easy. Now, you also got to loosen this bolt. It shouldn't be hard to loosen it neither. This is one of the easiest and quickest jobs you'll ever do when it comes to cars. Just make sure you don't strip that. Well, this one here is going to be a little bit more difficult than I planned on it being. In this case, there's a better way to do it. You can get what's called a open-end pass-through wrench, and you put that pass-through wrench on here, which I don't have a pass-through wrench, but a pass-through wrench is basically a socket with a hole in it that works like a ratcheting wrench, and you come through. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to get a long screwdriver or something and put through here to hold it. Then I'm going to come back and break it. And once I get that broke, then I'll come back with part 2.